It is 7:04 and you're live.
Good evening. It is October 22nd, 2020. I'm going to call to order this evening the meeting for the Community Relations and Human Rights Commission for the City of Oneonta. I'm Shannon McHugh. I am the chair of the commission. First, we will have roll call. So Frank Chambers.
Present.
Commissioner Paul Conway, we're still waiting on, hopefully. Commissioner Carroll, we're still waiting on her as well. Commissioner Joyce Miller.
Present.
Commissioner Marty.
I'm here.
Our council member liaison, Luke Murphy.
I'm here.
Yay. And our vacancy, the ghost. Okay. So hopefully Paul and Carol will be with us shortly. We do have a quorum with them not being here, so we're going to continue as normal. First things first, petitioners and guests. We don't have any. That's not abnormal. After that, we go to correspondences and concerns. So does anybody have any new correspondences or concerns to share?
I have a concern.
Ooh, go ahead, Marty.
I should have taken a picture of it, but my husband and I both were pretty shocked at the Halloween decoration right in front of City Hall. This person is up on the telephone pole and he looks like he's being lynched. I think it's very odd and disturbing.
You said a telephone pole, not the art installation with the guy hanging.
The guy hanging. It's
From the
not a
roof?
telephone pole then. Should have taken a picture of it. But to me,
'Cause there's
it's just me. But my husband said it first. He was like, what is that? It's really disturbing.
There's an art installation on one of the roofs where it looks like the guy is hanging from the roof.
No, it's not on the roof.
It's something different. Okay.
It's right almost on the street. Right in front of City Hall. Two of them. One like that. I'm sorry, I should have taken a picture of it.
Right in front of City Hall. And these aren't the scarecrows they just put out.
They're scarecrows. They're supposed to be scarecrows, but they look like somebody being lynched.
Oh, so
Next
Studio
time you walk by,
Nyanza
look.
and Hartwick put those scarecrows up. They're
Well,
part of a program to help like make the city more festive.
okay. Well,
Like that. Okay.
maybe it's just me. The other ones don't look like that as much, but the two
The
in front of
ones-
City Hall look like it.
Okay.
It's creepy, really creepy.
Well, I certainly, Marty, think that it's worth dispatching a team to go out and investigate. And if others feel the same that you do, then we should certainly address it.
I hope so.
We shouldn't have decorations that appear to be offensive to anyone
Well,
displayed within the city.
especially in this day and time when we're becoming more aware, and we should be, have been aware for many more years before this, of images that people find disturbing and might make them think about other times in life when, people were not safe, and we want everyone to feel safe. So
Right.
anyway,
Um,
like I said, maybe it's just me. So
I'll go out tomorrow and I'll look. I noticed the scarecrows because I was like, what are these? And then I, researched it and found out that it was like the college's efforts.
okay.
But I'll definitely go out and look tomorrow and see what we're looking at. It might just be that they need to be readjusted.
Could be.
So maybe I'll grab some zip ties and do it myself.
Yeah, because it's it's a posture thing almost, and the way that the head is hanging.
Okay. Yeah, I know, different groups are responsible for the different scarecrows. So no one was made the same. No one person hung all of them. It was all different people. So they
Okay.
probably just had their own method.
That could be.
But yeah, I'll go take a look tomorrow.
Okay.
I've
thank-
driven past them, but I couldn't tell you what any of them are really looking like.
Yeah, I think you have to be on foot, you know.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
husband and I walk everywhere.
Right.
With all the rain and everything, I can't imagine them, lasting very long.
That's true.
They were out last weekend, like adding new clothing to them because I think people were taking it and
Oh,
leaving with it.
my goodness.
So, well, I mean, we'll see. But
Okay.
I'll go out tomorrow and I'll bring some zip ties and some duct tape and I'll move it if necessary.
If you can
Because
read,
really,
Maybe
it's just
a ladder.
realistic.
okay.
It's not.
Thank you.
They're up that. I don't think they're up that high. They're
Maybe.
like.
Okay.
I should be able
Well,
to
I'm
reach
very short and you're not, so you probably can reach.
it. We'll see. I mean, all right. So we will address that immediately. Thank you for bringing that to our attention, Marty.
Okay.
Any more correspondence or concerns? Anybody? Nobody? Everybody's quiet. I haven't had anything. So like I mentioned before, it's gonna be like a really short meeting. A little different for us because COVID and all that good stuff. We're not really out there like we normally are, so we don't really have those correspondences and businesses like we normally do. Any announcements? I was kind of hoping Carol was here for this because I know she had done some work with the trick-or-treating and such. Does anyone have announcements?
Is trick-or-treating happening?
Allegedly.
Really?
It is.
Yeah, it's on
Yeah.
Main Street.
From I think 1 to 3 businesses are going to be spaced 6 feet apart. And they're going to be they're going to send people down staggered and they're going to be handing out. I believe college students are volunteering to hand out candy for the businesses.
Oh, good. Okay.
And there's an article in the paper, I believe, with all the details on it. I can't remember which one though, if it was Hometown or
I missed it.
Daily Star.
I'll look it up. Thank you.
We actually posted it on our commission Facebook page. So
Right.
anybody in YouTube world who wants to know, we posted the Halloween, City of Oneonta's Halloween rules for this year on our commission page on Facebook. But so maybe Carol will come in and be able to hear some more about that. The approval for our minutes, we're not going to be able to do tonight. It's Luke, yes. Go ahead.
I just wanted to do a point of order. I think we lost Frank.
Yeah, but Paul's trying to get in and he says his link is dead.
He can call in.
I'm going to try to send it to him again.
I can email him a new link while you guys continue with your meeting.
Carrie, thank you.
We just had a phone drop in, it looks like.
All right.
Hey, I
so
just got in, I think.
Paul.
Oh, okay,
Yep.
great.
I had to phone in. I can't get on with the link I've got.
Very good.
Oh, thank
I
you,
just sent
honey.
it to you again.
Very glad to.
All right. So Commissioner Paul Conley is here now. Should we wait a few minutes for Frank? Oh, there's Frank. Frank's back. Hey, Frank. Are you good now, Frank?
Somehow I got disconnected, so I apologize.
Sure. Okay. All right. Thank you, Luke, because then we wouldn't have had a quorum. I appreciate that. So our approval, Paul, you're just coming in. So the September meeting are the minutes from the September 24th meeting weren't able to go out
Good.
yet, so we won't be
Yep.
doing approval yet. We'll do that in November's meeting. So we are on to old business, which again, we don't have much of. So if it's okay, Council Member Liaison Luke Murphy, I believe that you have some things to tell us.
Yeah, thank you, Shannon. So I've continued doing some research and some work in regards to the sign down in Neowa Park. And I am excited to say that I have some contacts that I'm working on getting in touch with both the Oneida, the Onondaga, as well as the Mohawk Nation. to talk about the signs, and I've also emailed the president of the DA. Well, I don't know if her title is president, but I believe she fulfills the role of president of the Daughters of the American Revolution, who implemented the sign. Today I emailed her. I haven't heard anything back yet. That's totally fine. Everybody's busy and got a lot going on. But I did transcribe the sign. And a lot of it is a lot of its details, but the opening clause states, in the Sullivan Expedition of 1779, which destroyed Indian savagery and opened the westward pathway of civilization. Obviously, to call a whole group of savages is problematic, but it also harkens back to an idea that the United States, the area that we're living on now, was ripe for the taking, was just open, empty land, and that's not true, and that's a stereotype that's been portrayed since schools have been established as a justification for, unfortunately, some of the cruelty that's been done. So I would really like to hear some feedback. A couple of the papers have published a story on it, and I've been reading the feedback from the papers. But I'd really like to get those folks involved before I make a final recommendation or anything. So hopefully by next month's meeting, I'll have more solid feedback to give you folks from the people that are involved with the sign.
That's
Sounds
awesome.
great, Luke.
I concur with Paul. Luke, thank you so much for taking initiative on this. We really appreciate you. And hopefully, like you said, November we'll have some more information so that we can really go off of, that new information. That's really great that you got in contact with Daughters of the Revolution. All right, so we will put it in for next time, for November. Thank you. Anybody else have anything for old business? Really not much that we got going on.
Well, is it premature to anticipate us coming up with a resolution for Luke to support him so he really can keep the momentum rolling?
I mean, Luke, what do you feel? Do you feel like you need something like that?
If the commission feels like that's something they want to do, it would. If that's totally up to you folks.
Let me throw one out. Let's say the Community Relations and Human Rights Commission urges the mayor and Common Council to authorize the creation of a new plaque in Neowa Park commemorating the history of the Haudenosaunee peoples who resided in this area for thousands of years. Something like that. Would that be helpful, Luke, at this point?
Yeah, I think that would be great. Like I was saying, Paul, I just want to make sure I have a complete and 100% full engagement with all the parties involved before I take any further steps. We've seen a lot in the news with folks. People understand history in different ways, and I just want to make sure that I hear at least the input from all the parties involved before I go and make a formal recommendation to the council, if that makes sense.
Yep. Okay. But if you think a resolution would kind of give you a little momentum or keep the momentum, we could do that. If not, we just hold back.
Thank you, Paul. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Paul. I wrote it down. It's something that I'll keep here, especially when we get new information about it. I appreciate you wording it as well. Thank you.
Sure.
And it's, something that we should be able to do. I mean, Luke, it would be easy to, during council, if it comes up, you can just say that, the commission backs you in your efforts. So please feel free to do that as well.
Sure. I will. I'll make a note of that. I try to give a report each meeting to the council, so I'll make a note of that. Thank you.
You're so good about it. Thank you. Okay. So if there's no more old business, we can move to. Oh wait, I'm sorry, new business.
Well, before we completely leave this, I'm wondering what to put in the minutes. I assume that at this point, we're not putting in Paul's motion.
No, we're gonna allow for Luke to go ahead and gain all
Right.
the details.
So
and
the commission
information.
gives full support to Luke Murphy.
Right. That we're gonna provide our support to Luke as a commission. We are backing him in this effort.
For his, or with his research.
How about his effort to reconsider history in the area related to the Neowa Park plaque? Something like that.
For his effort to, say it again, Paul.
Reconsider the history of the area as it's represented in the Neowa Park plaque. Something like that.
Okay.
Don't worry, Luke, we got your back.
Thank you. I appreciate the support.
Say, Luke? Luke?
Sorry, I was clicking the wrong button. Hi, Paul.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if you want to consider the possibility of chatting with a resource available in the area, but have you bumped into William Starner?
No, I have not.
He's an anthropologist retired from Suco, but still in the area. And he's probably the foremost expert on Native American civilization or Native American politics or whatever you want to call it.
What was the last name,
in
Paul?
this region. Starner, S-T-A-R-N-A.
S-T-A-R-N-A.
William Starner.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll see if I
he's
can
really,
find him.
really knowledgeable.
I said I'll try to track him down.
Yeah, should. Okay, that'd be great.
Thank you, Paul.
Sure thing.
All right. So because I'm gonna do something a little different, we have the time. Because we now have a presence on YouTube, we kind of have a different crew than we normally have. We have different viewers that are able to access this now that weren't able to before. And because of that, I thought maybe it'd be a really good idea if we kind of just introduce ourselves and say a little bit about ourselves so that people who are tuning in now who may not have known us before, who are watching, have a better idea of who we are. A lot more is on Zoom right now, and many of us are in a couple of spaces. So if that's okay with everyone, I'd kind of like to go down the line. And Joyce, are you good? You're good?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm Joyce Miller, retired, and have been on the commission for many years and have seen the evolution of the commission change from having events and to one that takes up issues and deals more with issues of the day. And I have always had a strong interest in anti-racism, and it's been a learning curve that takes a number of years to really come to try to understand what the problem is and how to address it.
Awesome. Thank you, Joyce. Joyce is our vice chair, by the way. She's amazing. She does a lot of the behind the scenes work and she's very much appreciated. We love her very much. I'm going to throw that in there. Okay. Frank, you're next.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Franklin Chambers. I have been on the commission for a few years now, and I'm happy to serve the city of Oneonta in this role as a commissioner. Professionally, I serve as the Vice President for Student Development at SUNY Oneonta, and I've been at the university a little over 5 years now.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Frank. Luke Murphy, you're next on my screen.
Hi, everyone. My name is Luke Murphy. I am the Common Council liaison to the Commission. I am a graduate of SUNY Oneonta's history program, as well as their graduate program in museum studies. So I've been in the area, I think I first, let's see, each year gets longer. 2013 is when I first came to the area, but fell in love. My sister went to school here. I remember coming to visit her when I was in elementary school. From the Schenectady area.
Awesome. Luke's being very modest. Luke does a lot as well, but I'll be quiet. Marty, you want to go ahead?
I'm Reverend Marty Swords Harrell. I'm in my 3rd year as pastor of First United Methodist Church on the corner of Church and Chestnut Streets here in Oneonta. I'm relatively new to the commission, but very proud to serve as a commissioner. I'm also have served, this is my 38th year as a pastor, and I've served many inner city churches in Chicago, in Ithaca, in Syracuse, and in Albany. Most of them were multiracial. So it's been a great honor to be an advocate for anti-racism or an advocate against racism, although I still have much to learn, obviously. And we've been teaching anti-racism courses at our church, especially during this past several months since the tragic murder of Mr. Floyd in Minneapolis. So I feel like this is a very pivotal time with these dual viruses of racism and the pandemic itself, which also, of course, significantly and disproportionately affects people of color, because they are, many more of them are essential workers and have lost many, many people in the communities of color to the virus. So I'm very, very glad we have this commission, and we have a lot of work to do here in town, I think.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Paul Conway.
Hello, everybody. My name is Paul Conway, and I've taught political science at SUCO up until 2010 when I retired. And since then, I've been active with the NAACP and for a half dozen years, at least, with this commission. I'm also very interested in anti-racist efforts. And I'm also very concerned about the vulnerability and the alienation of a lot of law enforcement people and people supporting law enforcement, as if you have to either be for law enforcement on one side or Black Lives Matter on the other, which I think is really fallacious. And I really think it's important to try to bridge the gap between law enforcement people and people fighting against racism. So anyway, that's pretty much where I'm at right now, and I'm happy to be a member of the commission. Thanks.
Thank you, Paul. And then finally, I guess myself. So my name is Shannon McHugh. I'm the chair for the Human Rights Commission. I also was just asked to serve on the police review committee for the city of Oneonta, which we'll talk about in a minute because I forgot to talk about that. I've owned a daycare in the city of Oneonta for the past 16 years. I'm a licensed social worker, and I provide, create and instruct lectures and workshops to various institutions. Hey, Luke. But being on this commission was my dream, and I'm so excited to be here, and I'm so excited to have each one of you. Everybody gives 110% when it comes to this, and I'm so thankful to have all of you. So with that, this is our commission. We're missing Carol, but that's all right. We'll get her next time. If I can back up a little bit, I forgot to mention the police. Luke, what are we calling it? The Police Advisory Board, correct?
I believe Citizen Advisory Board is the full title.
Citizen
I remember
Advisory
as
Board,
CAB,
Police of the
CAB.
City of Oneonta. Okay. We've had our first meeting, and as of right now, Luke and I are both chairs of subcommittees for the committee, and we're just pulling things together right now. We're currently reaching out and finding people to join our subcommittees who are in the community, who have lived here, who want to assist us on our own subcommittees, so we can have that community involvement, that community say, where our actual citizens are helping to create that reform that we're looking for. So that's where we're at with that. Does anyone have any questions about the board?
Do your subcommittees have a name?
Mine is number 4 and Luke's is number 2. No, I'm kidding. We literally.
I'm really interested in number 2, if you have any openings on number 2.
Oh, Paul, you know exactly what I'm saying.
That's my favorite number. No, seriously, what are the commission titles or the subcommission or
I'd be happy
committee
to-
titles?
I've got I don't think they have necessarily clear titles yet, do they,
Yeah.
Shannon?
No.
But I'm happy to read to you. I've got mine, the major points here. If you'd like to hear them, Paul.
Sure, yeah.
Just give me a second. My computer's being a little bit slow, but
It's
I'm
the
trying to pull it. Cat's not helping. Let's see here. Okay, so our subcommittee is looking at. It's called, well, I guess it does have a title. It's called Employing Smart and Effective Policing Standards and Strategies. And there's 3 major things that we're going to be looking at, which is procedural justice and community policing, law enforcement strategies to reduce racial disparities and build trust, as well as community engagement is what we're going to be doing in my subcommittee. And we are still.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
It is a lot. It's what we're taking on is pretty vast. We're asked to do a lot, which is why it's really important we get a nice group of people in that can break things up, with people that we trust and are gonna go ahead and assist us, because taking it on solely would be tremendous. It would be a tremendous amount of, especially so the mayor would like it completed by April 1st. So I have currently about 5 people who I've gotten to agree to serve. I'm waiting to hear from a few more, but there's one section number 3 already had a meeting. I'm not there yet, but we're getting there. So
Yeah, and we are still looking for folks for my committee too. I think it's just myself and one other person so far. So if you're interested, Paul or Joyce or anyone.
Can you
Yeah,
slowly
yeah.
tell me what you called that subcommittee?
Sure.
I got as far as employing.
Sure thing. Let's see. Okay, smart. So it's employing smart and effective policing standards and strategies.
So my committee is more geared towards training, representation, pulling minorities into the community, minority officers into the community, officer self-care, things of that nature. However, the way that it seems is that if we want to go ahead as a committee and look over, like say my committee has an idea on Luke's stuff, number 2, right? we can go ahead and kind of develop that, and then I can be like, hey, Luke, here's some stuff that we developed. Here you go. So it's kind of free in that nature, even though we have like our specific sections. It is tremendous if anybody's looked at it. It's a lot to go through, even for 4 subcommittees with people of our choosing to assist us.
So getting back to you, Shannon, your subcommittee is dealing with training, self-care.
Yeah, pulling minority officers into the community, making sure there's adequate representation. Actually, what I can do is I can email everyone the different sections. So it's 4 sections, and you guys can take a look at it and see if it's anything you want to participate in, even though, you might like group 1 and 3, and please join them.
I think that'd be great.
If we can have representation, in the other groups of our committee, that would be great. So right now, 1 and 3 don't have one of our committee members on it. And they're so good. They're very open to people joining. Go ahead, Marty.
How many minority, so-called minority officers are there anyway on our force? Do you know? 0.
Well, no. Wait, we might have 1. I believe we have a young man who is a minority, but beyond him, that's all that we have. Because I just emailed Chief Brenner not that long ago. One of my friends had thought that when they were at court that we had gotten an African-American officer, and was like, oh my gosh, Oneonta got, a Black officer. And I emailed Chief Brenner, and he was like, no, he's a court officer, not OPD. I've been trying to get him forever, but he likes his, what he's doing. So we currently don't. And as far as I know from my past discussions with Chief Brenner, he has tried really hard to find officers. He's gone ahead and gone into the city and job posts, and it's not for lack of him trying. This is a lot deeper than that. We have the blacklist. If anybody Googles our city, it's the blacklist, and you're considering bringing your family here and making this your community, and that's the first thing you're going to find out about us. So we need to be really authentic and open about our history and our past, and make the community right now, versus 1992, more welcoming, and make officers or want to even look into coming here. The other thing is pay. We don't have, we're not offering what they can get elsewhere. And why, move roots and bring your family up here if you're not even gonna get paid what you could elsewhere? So there's a lot of pieces to this. It's not just necessarily, we're not advertising in the right spaces. So it's going to be a lot to challenge, to look at.
Isn't there a Hispanic woman on the force?
Unless she
might be. She might work
unless
desk.
she's very. I'm not aware. I would have to email Chief Brenner again.
I thought one time when when Chief Brenner or somebody was talking about a newspaper article about diversity in the police force, I thought there was a Hispanic woman on the force.
Carrie, do you know? Luke?
I can't speak to it one way or the other, Joyce. I apologize.
Yes, I would have to email Chief Brenner but for that email, there weren't any. So, but something could have changed. I know that.
I know there was concern about somebody might be leaving, so maybe they aren't on the force anymore.
Maybe. I mean, I believe that there's 4 vacancies that they're hoping to fill right now. I believe that was the last number that I heard. So the spaces are there, the opportunity is there to bring in minorities into the community. It's just about making them feel like they would want to come here. The other big piece is that many of our officers are younger when they come here and gain training and experience here.
And go somewhere else.
They go somewhere else. So, if maybe there's a way that we can bring young minority officers here as well, how do we do that? How do we provide them with the space to want to come, hang out, not hang out, but come here, establish themselves, gain that experience, and then feel free to move elsewhere as the other officers do. So, yeah, section number 4 is going to be interesting. So, but I'll email everyone all of the sections. And like I said, there's nobody from the committee on section 1 and 3. So if we could have some representation in them. And then Luke also is looking for members.
Yes, be happy to have anybody interested.
Oh, Anaya says her. You want a 10-year-old, Luke, and the cat. I'll take your cat. You take my daughter. I think it's fair trade. So does anyone have any questions, concerns, anything, announcements? This is normally the time we have randomness. Oh, Luke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to do another pitch. For those, if you yourselves are not interested in working with the CAB, but if you do know somebody who might be, please spread the word that we're looking for folks. I'm still actively looking, and I'm happy to email the list to you if you'd like to see what the commission's about. And I'm so sorry I can't get a word out.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Marty.
I know the fourth Thursday is Thanksgiving in November.
Thanksgiving.
When is our next meeting?
It'll be the Thursday before that.
Okay.
Is it the Thursday before that or the first Thursday in December? And then that's our last meeting of the year because of Christmas.
I mean, we can put that up to a vote. Do you guys want a meeting?
That's just how we've done it the last few years. So
Well, I mean, now we're Zooming, so it's not like we don't have to drive in December to City Hall and find a parking spot.
That wasn't the issue. It was the falling of the holidays.
No, I'm kidding. So let me put that out there. Do we want a November and December meeting, or do we want to combine those and just have the one December meeting? Any thoughts?
I personally prefer the one meeting at the beginning of December.
Will it make a difference to you, Luke, in terms of your research and what you're doing on NEWA?
No, I don't think so. It's something that I'm really not trying to rush. I want to make sure I've got all the information. So at least on my side of things, I just want to make sure we're good. So no, I don't think December's fine with me.
Jump in and say hello and jump out.
Then I would vote for the December 5th.
Paul?
I think he had company.
December 3rd. Yeah, his phone rang and he's on the phone.
Okay, so that would be the December 3rd, Joyce?
I don't have a calendar.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. So yeah, why not? We'll just have the one meeting for December 3rd. Carrie, if you're listening. Okay.
I am, and I already had you on the calendar.
Oh, thank you, Carrie.
You're welcome.
That's adorable.
We'll have the one meeting. All right. I think that's it. Guys, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you all so much. You don't even know.
We appreciate you too, Shannon.
Yes.
Thank you, Shannon. Thank you, everybody.
All right. So we will get out September minutes. Okay.
Right, and October. I won't put them off. I'll get them both done and out.
Thank you, Joyce.
As soon as I get the information from you about the different subcommittees.
Oh, okay. I thought it was some other thing I didn't have. Okay.
No, no, no.
I do have that.
Awesome.
All right. Carrie, thank you very much. Joyce, thank you very much for all that you do. We will see each other again on the 3rd of December. Please email myself or Joyce if you have any questions or concerns. All right. I guess this is the end of our meeting.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yes, everybody have a nice
Oh my gosh.
Thanksgiving.
It's not even Halloween yet, guys.
I
Take
like
care,
it.
folks.
Have a safe Halloween.
Yes.
Yes,